Start the knowledge begin. Mr. Abhijeet Sinha, National Program Director, NHEV. So I welcome you on the.
For setting up the text. Very warm welcome and greetings to esteemed panelists, heavyweight speakers who are with me. I'm going to do a lot of knowledge transactions with you, and very good morning to all of you for being patient and very warm listeners. I'm not National Program Director of National Highway. I'm National Program Director of Ease of Doing Business. National Highway EV is one of the pilot which is taken care by me in an additional charge as project director. A lot of such things happen. We would talk today about it. But before we enter into it, you have set a very good context in the morning that how this transformation of PSU and how this beginning has started. So I would also like to add on a couple of things to it, that where we started and where we have reached. It is important for us, a lot of debate which we see on TV, that people come and they try to change the history of the nation. They try to debate something where they say, no, things did not happen this way, things happened other way. We have been fed wrong history. In the economy also has an history. So when we started in 1947 as a country, free country, we were an agricultural economy. And we continued to be an agricultural economy till 1960. From 1960, if you will see, we started becoming a manufacturing-based economy. Then the technology, manufacturing plants and other things, they started coming. This manufacturing-based economy and agricultural economy, both, they contributed us to see and look at it that how we could be a technology-based economy. So 1960 to 1985, you will see how it was becoming a manufacturing plus and tech economy. And 1985 to 2000 or 2005, 10 you can say, it completely focused on the technology. So all those technical achievement, right from bringing computer and opening India for a global market, it happened between 1985 to 2000. Now 2000 to 2022, it's also 20-year long economy. We turned out to be a very different type of economy which has different definition, that is called circular economy. This circular economy journey is not yet completed. It would not be justice with the definition of circular economy if I say that we have become circular economy. We yet to become circular economy. But in 2014, things changes. Prime Minister Modi comes in power, he gives a different direction to how economy has to go. And what is that direction? We all must know that what is that direction. That direction is simple. It's not a political direction. It's not a party line direction. It's a clear direction that what you could not achieve into last 75 years, let's achieve into next 25 years. And this gives a clarity of what Amrit Kal is. So before we become a 100-year-old country and we say that, okay, we missed this bus of digital transformation, digitalization of data or digitalization of assets or infrastructure, and we say, okay, we missed it, it's 100 years now, what we can do? That last 25 years being given to us in Amrit Kal is started with Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav at 75th anniversary of our country. So that's the direction where we all are moving. If I come back to the context of today's seminar is PSU's transformation, reimagining how we have to do it, how we have to work it. Then one very important thing we all need to understand is what is expected from PSU. And what is it that they have given till date. Only expectation never serves the purpose. If you will see the mantra of ease of doing business, the mantra of how Prime Minister look at it that economy should transform, it is not only transformation, it is reform, then perform, then transform. So most of the time when we have aspirations, when we have expectations, we only talk about the reforms, that okay, these are the problem areas, it might be, compliances, it might be burden of licensing Raj, and we expect transformation. We forget a mid word, that is perform. We have to come together and perform, but perform what? that performance is already being done on the context of doing large muscle power, large transactional operations by PSUs. So what do we expect from that? It's something which I would like to bring in all of you's notice. See, if you look at things which did not happen into last 75 years, you will look at it that a lot of infrastructure project, power related project, energy related projects were stalled before 2014 due to several reasons. The reason on the prima facie may look like it happened just because somebody went and did an PIL on a hydel power project, on a nuclear power project, on something which is very important for the national asset. It can serve the purpose of your energy transition, your energy dependency or transport. So बहुत सारे flyover, बड़े plants, बड़े projects start हुए, वो कभी पूरे नहीं हुए. After 2014, when new government started investigating that how and why these all work, and many of them, they belong to PSUs. They did not completed these large transaction projects in time. You will be surprised to know what came as a result. Most of them, they were stalled deliberately by international countries, by European countries through some funded NGOs who just go, take some money, file an PI. That few people, climate interest, this interest, that interest. Our vision, our national vision is to remain intact with the climate. This is very clear. All of you are listening every day, decarbonization and things and regarding climate. It is not absolutely going ahead and doing something which does not work with the climate of the people. But it was mapped and pictured as, okay, government is going and doing some wrong thing to somebody, let's put an PI. And when it's investigated, I'm saying on the record that many of the NGOs who have found funded from foreign agencies, they were not doing education, they were not doing food, they were not doing any type of good work, they were just hiring very, very expensive lawyers and filing PI. To stop what? To stop development of the nation. And who was doing it? It also came out. So if you will look at it that why and where, what, this is the history. Now it is not happening. Most of the foreign transactions, and they are very tightly scrutinized today. It is very difficult to bring any dirty money in the country. Now what do we learn from this? When we have a precedence and clear intent of countries who were involved into it through a shadow or proxy entries in this through NGOs, same countries has a lot of consulting organizations, a lot of very good consulting, very fancy, beautiful consulting organization. And what do they do? Today, ease of doing business wing, which I handle, is only having one target, one task, is to serve to this digital transformation. You talk about drone, you talk about electric mobility, you talk about 3D printing, geospatial, cloud, data, anything which is emerging technology, which does not have a rule book. This is what we do as a pilot project. We only do it for Government of India, we only give it to Government of India. Once it is provided, once it is completed, we actually get an understanding of how this pilot has to run and how the model RFP for other states should work. Maybe a drone or maybe a 3D printing, which many states might be interested to work and do, but they don't get it because they don't know how to do the procurement. If they will enter into a long cycle of procurement, it will take 2-3 years. And trust me, for a new technology, it's absolutely the intent that matters. You may do it into 6 months, you can run the file from table to table for next 6 years. And nothing will happen, nothing will come on the board. We do it just for the purpose of the 3 things should be clear. 1, how do we finance this new technology? Second, how do we do procurement and the paperwork for that? How do we set the rule book, standard, certification, their licensing, regulations? Third, how are we going to react to it as a user, as a consumer, as people, beneficiaries? How are we going to react to it? What is the commercial equivalence? Without that technology and with that technology, what difference it brings? These 3 things make that particular technology scalable, very easily in transition adoptable by pan-India. And this work, when we try to conduct it, most of the time when we see our challenges, then I see a very important role of PSUs coming in. अगर कोई नई टेक्नोलॉजी खरीदनी है एंड गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर को खरीदनी है तो उसके पास दो ही ऑप्शन होते हैं, या तो वो उनकी डिटेल में खुद जाएं, खुद से पढ़ें. Somebody from aviation may not have an intelligence about the food processing. Food processing may not have an intelligence about steel or mine. Or else they appoint a consultant. Am I right? All of you in this room who are talking about PSU imagination agree with me that all of them they appoint a consultant. Who is this consultant? आपके यहाँ प्रतिभा की, इंटेंट की कमी नहीं है. आपके IIT से, IIM से पढ़ के बच्चे बाहर जा रहे हैं जो इन्हीं कंसल्टिंग कंपनीज में फिर वापस आते हैं काम करने के लिए. Once we have learned the lesson from history that majority of our infrastructure and economic importance projects are stalled by these countries by sending shadow organization and NGOs with a hat of philanthropy, we are again realizing, we are again trusting them with sending consulting companies. And what these consulting companies do, they bring data, they bring analytics, they bring intelligence, they bring insights. They mesmerize you with what they have done into different part of world, and what not you can understand, something you may not verify also. The role which I see from our PSUs today is to replace them, is to give an insight to the government of India, to the Indian industry and Indian economy, that we do not need a fancy foreign consultant. We know how to run our country, and we understand how to do procurement, how to do financing, how to do adoption, how to make our rule books for new technologies. This intelligence comes from a data-driven process. It comes from an evidence-based policy framework of what you try, what we collect from ground. There is no hanky-panky, there is no possibility of assumptions in this type of making. So my request, my wish list to all of you, and I'm glad that I am being part of this Transformation Summit. This session and the session coming next to it is bringing lot of transparency, lot of precision and accountability in all part of sector. And all of you who are there in hall will agree with me that data is something which is bringing your interest and your vision to the globe, to the table. If you are using Uber, you are using an e-commerce site, you are using Ola, anything, whatever you are using, it is a mobility service, it's a logistic service. You have a lot of, even if you are booking tickets to airlines. Day before yesterday, I heard that Ministry of Civil Aviation has called for a meeting of around 10,000 complaints which we received over last few years about problems with ticket. Somebody charged extra, somebody did not got refund, some. We do not regulate directly ticket pricing of airlines, but this does not mean that anybody can take ride on it. Same is with your transportation. बहुत सारे लोग मोबाइल ऑर्डर करते हैं, उनको उधर से ईंट पत्थर आ जाते हैं. Now it is at your peril that where you go, what type of complaint you put. बहुत सारे मोबाइल इस कंट्री में मिलते हैं जिसका सर्विस सेंटर ही नहीं है यहाँ पे. So are we creating in circular economy that if it does not work, I have to throw this in the dustbin? There should be a refurbish, reuse, then recycle. This is how circular economy have to work. To do this, we need to have data from consumer inside, from users inside, from industry inside, and this all are to be used as an evidence-based policy making for PSUs. And I'm glad that this conversation has started. We will be able to do a lot of transformation into next 5 years, and this next 5 years are very crucial because this next 5 years is not the reform, it's not the perform, it's the 5 year of transformation. And I believe that all of you who have joined with this intent to create a right content for this transformation would bring it to the maximum extent which we can achieve. Thank you. Jai Hind.